Full-time worker Muhammad Aizuddin is a loving husband, a father of two, and a photography enthusiast. Meeting his clients during his off days, he wants to set up a photography studio and is looking for investors. Would his pitch help him to realize his dream?
Hi, my name is Aizuddin bin Muhammad. I am 30 years old. I started photography about 1.5 years ago, I think. But I started as a wedding photographer. I do portraiture. At the same time, I do kids.
When Aizuddin first started his career, actually it started when he first brought home his big camera.
My wife fully support me on this. But I remember last year when I do weddings, I can see her face a bit different, especially on the weekend.
I was quite frustrated when he's not around, especially during weekends. As you know, I work throughout the week and I wanted my weekend to be filled with time with my family. And unfortunately, he's not there most of the time. I told him, since children love you so much and you seem to like children, why don't you take kids photography instead of weddings? So you can still spend the weekend with us. And so we compromise.
So that's why I decided to change to kids, where I can spend more time with family, and then at the same time I can spend time with my kids and do my hobby lah.
And that's when Kiddos started.
In this kids photography, passion is most important lah. When you deliver your assignment to the clients, when you see the photos are taken, that's the best part lah. Basically, this is a sample yang aku buat lah. Session ni dekat luar, kat Alamanda. Sama juga, same konsep. Lepas kan anak dan dia main.
Which one? Which one you like? Ni, board, book.
Apa yang skill yang you nak attract attention kanak-kanak selalunya?
Normally mak kat depan, bapa kat belakang. So one kat belakang just agak nak
acah-acah dia kan?
Itu nak bagi dia senyum dulu. I'm focusing more on the feeling, more on the expression of the kids. It's not just a picture, it's something behind the picture. When you see my picture, I want you to feel something. And then I also got about 8 years experience in marketing, in advertising, in graphic, and now in photography. So I'm sure if I combine everything together, I can be a good photographer. Hi, good evening to all the judges. My name is Aizuddin bin Muhammad. I'm 30 years old. I got this idea to set up a photography studio, but specializing in kids. I got my full-time job as an advertising manager at one of the airlines in Malaysia. So I got 8 years experience in the marketing and advertising and then photography. So I thought it's a good time for me to start my own business now. Basically, the fund that I requested is for me to set up a studio where my client can come and discuss on the assignments. Now I'm doing on a part-time basis where I don't have any studio. I just meet the client outside. But sometimes the client requested for a photography at the studio for their kids.
How much more can you make per assignment if you have a studio when compared to in the field? Is there a large difference?
Yeah, currently I'm doing outdoor. If you can see sample of my pictures, mostly I do outdoor. But imagine if I can do indoor and studio, I can double up the profit. So
your target market now are individuals, parents?
I got a few ideas. One is parents, individual. Another thing is hospitals, where I can target the where I can take newborn pictures, start from the maternity, newborn, 6 months, 1 year. And then also at the same time I can approach the advertising agency for the kids photography, for commercials.
That would be a lot more revenue?
Yeah, so it's not just a photography kids photography where people think it's just a kids with a family. No, it's more than that. I think it's advertising, hospitals, kindergartens, international schools. It's a lot.
I see your photography is commendable, but what's stopping when you are successful? What's stopping from others to also follow your niche and just provide you competition?
For me, I think competition is good. If no competition, you will not improve on your skills, on your quality. So I think more important in the photography business is the service and then the quality of the pictures. I got clients who come to take picture of their kids about a few times, 4 or 5 times. Why? Because they love the pictures and the service. I think that's most important in the business. The quality and then the service. to the customer.
How soon do you think you will be embarking on the advertisement side of your business? Because I think that's where the niche is going to be.
I think when I set up the studio, then I can go more than what I'm doing now. Not very niche. Now I can say it's very more on family photography. I don't approach any advertising agency yet because I got this full-time job at the airline. So it's not fair for me to do 2 jobs at one time.
Would you quit? Should you get the financing from us
yes.
to set up the studio? Would you quit?
Definitely quit when I got the fund.
How do you sustain it? It's now dependent on you. If something happens to you, how does this model actually sustain? Do you have actually plans to do that?
That's why for my plan for the first 6 months is more on awareness for people to know Kiddos. And then 1 year to sustain. Meaning for the sustain, I need to get more photographers, then I need to train them to get the same quality as my photographer. I cannot take any photographer then, okay, you can go to this assignment. No, it's not just like that.
How much do you really need from us? I mean, seriously. Are you going to rent or are you going to buy the studio?
Rent the studio for now. The shop lot. I need at least 152,000. Basically, to buy equipment. To set up a proper photography studio, you need a good equipment. Now, my equipment can say so-so lah. So, if you need to set up a studio, you need a good equipment and good environment. So, the studio, I can say, very basic, but the equipment is the most important.
I have with your proposal is that it's not sexy.
Your proposal is not sexy? What does that mean? How will this affect Aizuddin?
It's not sexy. It's a photography studio.
Business.
Yeah, and there's a lot of photographers out there. Yes, your niche are kids, but photography is photography. Technique is technique. Equipment is equipment. Yeah, it's the same across the board. What you would need to come out here to impress us is to change the model a little. Give us something a bit more than just a photography studio. For instance, a photography studio and an image bank, and perhaps becoming an agent for some of these parents for their kids to be in advertising or something like that.
The real end game for you. Not
make
just
make it a bit broader and not just a commonplace photography studio. It's not sexy. You've got talent, you've got passion, you've got the right sort of niche because we're in a population that's getting younger and a lot of people are giving birth right now. You're in the right space. And in fact, I think you can have niche audiences. The high net worth individuals would spend a bomb on their kids. There could be a Tatler baby magazine. These are options that you should explore. But come to us with something more sexy. Because if you're coming to us with a photography studio, it's a waste of your talent.
That's why I think the photography studio is just the basic.
Yeah. But start the proposal now.
Yes,
so don't tell us you need 150,000. Give me your 500,000. What can you do for 500,000? What's the sexiest idea that you can give us for this? That's what we want to know. Don't come to us with something commonplace because this is an opportunity.
Think about it. Think of how to refine and improve further your proposal. Bigger picture. More sexy, as Nazrin used the word. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The investors sense Aizuddin's talents, but they feel that there is more than a photography studio here. Does that mean that Aizuddin has to relook at his business model?
A bit tough, it's not as easy as I thought. Maybe the proposal is not complete enough for the judges, but we'll wait and see the decision from the judges. I got the idea, but maybe it's not in the proposal, so I think that's the problem. So maybe the judges not see what's beyond what I proposed because they thought just the studios for kids. Basically, they know my skills, my capability, just they don't see the idea. 50-50 to say whether I can go the next round. Hope good news from the judges or for the second chance.
It's a tough world for the men. Do you realize that the best chef in the world are mostly men?